Here again with my very first Shameless Season 5 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important. If you aren't caught up to the point where I am and you're watching Shameless, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case and you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this video any further to avoid any potential spoilers. For all you that want to know, this is my second time watching this show. This will be Shameless Season 5, Episode 1, the Season 1 premiere. The title of this episode is called Milk of the Gods. And this will be my review, reaction, recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we have Frank waking up next to Sheila, feeling her boobs. Frank, who was on death's door in the last season, then all of a sudden gets a new liver at the end of the season, and he's essentially in really good, well, he's not in good health, but he's a miraculous recovery while he got the transplant. But he's feeling her boobs. Chucky is also in bed with them. He had a bad dream as Sammy had kicked him out of the trailer because she picked up another guy, or a guy from the alibi, and Chucky was poking Frank, so his dream must have had something interesting in it, or it's just morning wood. But whatever the case may be, Sammy kicked him out of the trailer, because remember, they now live next door in their trailer that they put on the land, for now at least. We have Carl on crutches as he had an accident on his skateboard. Now, this seemed kind of thrown in there. I don't know if the actor was actually really injured in real life and that's why he was on crutches. I don't think that's the case. I feel like if he was really in the storyline, injured on a skateboard, they would have showed us that. So I'm kind of conflicted here. I haven't done my research to see if the actor was actually hurt in real life, but it seemed kind of thrown in there. But he needs a ride because his crutches are hurting his wrists, and he can't even jack off right now. So, unfortunately for him, though, Debbie says no, because that's who he was talking to about the scenario. And then we have Fiona, Liam, and we're introduced to Sean, who are in the empty pool playing around. Now, Sean is the manager at Patsy's, or is he the owner? Last season, we were introduced, I believe, to Charlie. I might be getting that name wrong, played by the great Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who, of course, plays Negan on The Walking Dead and soon to be The Walking Dead Dead City. I don't know, something happened where he couldn't do Shameless anymore, so they got Dermot Mulroney to take his place. They needed kind of an older male, but not super old male. So that sucked because I really don't like Dermot Mulroney all that much. I would have much rather had Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but it's Fiona's new boss, and they take turns after they get out of the pool. They take turns playing with the hose, and Liam's really liking the fun and excitement. He's really happy to have his much older sister, back home, as she, of course, was able to get out of jail because she's a non-violent offender, and that's how she got the job at Patsy's via her parole officer who hooked her up with that position. So Liam's happy, Fiona's happy, and it's obvious that she has a slight crush on Sean, and I'm sure that the feeling is mutual, and he's lucky he got this role because I would love to have that much time with Emmy Rossum. Amanda and Lip talk about the possibility of living together. It's not a long conversation by any means. Of course, Amanda was his dorm mate's love interest who they would fool around at night, and then she's just started randomly doing stuff with Lip, and she's very helpful in terms of getting Lip things and just being there to be his personal planner. Svetlana is pregnant again. I didn't remember her being pregnant twice because she had the one baby and now she's having another baby, and pretty soon those kids don't even get talked about. They're kind of left out of the story from what my recollection is. It's not pretty soon. It's like a couple seasons from now when this show starts to take a dramatic, being not as good, a dramatic, from the content we're getting now, it gets much worse. So that's that. Frank's trying to take a crap, and he can't. He's constipated, and then Chucky has to really pee, although I put pie for some reason. He has to pee really bad. So Frank's like, all right, whatever. And so Frank gets up, and then Chucky seemingly pees for 5 minutes straight, which actually this morning I peed for about a minute straight. sometimes you just had those peas, And Chucky is very interesting, to say the least. He does look up to Frank, though, so it's kind of nice for Frank because everybody else kind of hates him. Frank's lying to his journal about his weight. He's supposed to be at a certain weight, and he's like 5 pounds less than that. And Chucky mentions that, and of course he shows this journal to Sheila as she's trying to keep track of everything. V's breastfeeding. She's sick of baby this and baby that. V wants her life back, wants her boobs back. She wants sex, so she'll go home and fuck her husband, is what Fiona recommends that she do. So she's going to take Fiona's advice as they were talking. Amanda actually gets Lip a watch. She asks Lip if he will date other people over the summer, and he says he doesn't know. And then Amanda gets in a limbo, and she's leaving for Miami, I believe. So Amanda's going to be out of the picture for a certain length of time. I'm sure she comes back. I just don't know what exactly happens when she comes back. And then we have Frank working on a secret project. He's gathering random stuff for this secret project, like a propane tank and whatnot. Sheila doesn't like Sammy bringing Ronaldo over and her sitting down, putting her feet on her table. We all remember how OCD Sheila is. She's gotten much better, but this shit can't continue. Fiona goes on the run with Ian, and he's actually running with Mickey's baby and Liam in a stroller, because that's how Ian rolls. And Debbie brings Frank the propane tank. Lip's having a graduation party later, or party get-together at Patsy's, and Frank actually just found out about it and he wants to go. And Debbie's like, you're not invited. Well, I'm going to go anywhere because that's my son. And then we have Sammy, who I actually liked before, but I'm already like, wow, I don't like Sammy anymore in season 5. She's having sex with Ronaldo on Sheila's couch. And then Frank, he actually walks by, doesn't seem to care, and Sammy says, Daddy, are you mad at me? And Frank just kind of continues what he's doing and doesn't really acknowledge it. Kev can't get into V sucking his dick. All he cares about is the babies. V decides she's going to go work at the Alibi instead of Kev going to work there. She's going to work there and let Kev fail trying to watch the kids. Carl takes someone's electric chair so he can get around better. Lip is on the L heading back home to the Gallagher house. And Lip actually catches up with some neighborhood kids. They just talk about some things for a few minutes. Angela catches up with Fiona. She's at the Patsy's. She was the one that was shown at the very end of season 4 with the returning Jimmy Steve in the car. And she orders a drink and pie, doesn't even finishes it, and leaves $100 for the total bill. And Fiona obviously should be happy about that. Sheila gets home and smells her couch. What kind of woman would have sex on another woman's living room furniture? Turns out Sammy also got into Sheila's sex toys. Oh, do not mess with Sheila's sex toys. She is furious, and she tells Frank that she doesn't want Sammy and Chucky in her house anymore. And Frank's like, fine, whatever. I don't give a shit. Mickey actually started a moving company of sorts, but auctions off the truck of the stuff instead of delivering it to the customer and, getting money for this. At the Alibi, Tommy wants V to pour drinks like Kev does, and Lip tells Tommy he needs a job, and he apparently had promised Lip a job, and then he's like, I don't know, how drunk was I? I'm just pulling your balls here now, you're going to be so tired or whatever. And then we have at Patsy's a musician flirting with Fiona, and he actually gives Fiona her number. Sean's not too thrilled about that and says they're magicians. Why do I keep seeing magicians? Musicians, watch out for them. Not exactly his words, but that's what he's basically implying. Sheila gets her locks changed. Frank does come to the dinner or lunch, whatever it was, for Lip at Patsy's. And Frank makes some smart comments about Fiona giving drugs to his son, Lip. No. What am I doing here? Liam, and Sean giving a felon a job. So he's really taking shots at Fiona. And then Ian, during all this, actually blows somebody in the bathroom at Patsy's. And then we have a realty company stopping by Kev's place and is very interested in buying. Kev actually gets extremely happy when one of his twin daughters poops. And she made a big mess, too. Like, there's poop outside of the clothes, and he's just there with his hand on it and all that. Sean gets mad that Fiona didn't charge her family for a piece of pie. And he, makes a big stink out of it. And Fiona gives the money for the pie to Sean. And it turns out that Frank's big thing is that he's making his own brewery. Fiona and Lip go to talk to Mickey. They want Mickey to get Ian to see a doctor about the possibility of him being bipolar, which at this point, it's pretty evident that he is. And then Mickey beats somebody up that was hurting, I think, one of the girls for the sex thing at the alibi. And then V gets home and Kev's asleep, cuddled with both of his baby girls. And V's not happy about that. She wanted Kev to fail, and he succeeded. More on that later. Lip texts Amanda, how's Miami? And then V's putting frozen peas on her boobs as they hurt. And, of course, she's upset that Kev's a better mother than she is, as, like I mentioned, she wanted him to fail. And then the musician, not magician, texts Fiona, wants to know if he should come over. Interesting, he's moving very quick, apparently. And then we have a pool party, party it up, Gallagher style. And time to drink Frank's Milk of the Gods. Frank doesn't seem to like it very much, but slams almost the whole thing. Everyone seems to be having a good time that's partaking in the Gallagher late night pool party, especially Fiona and Sean. And we have also a mid-credits scene where Frank is waking up on a bench after drinking his brewery, and he's completely naked, and his body is being drawn in a portrait as his body is apparently beautiful from the person that's doing it. There's a lot of people that are doing it, drawing him, and that is what ends the episode. So I feel like this episode changed a lot of things about the show, and I didn't necessarily love it. So I'm going to score it an 8.0 out of 10. Hey, 8.0 out of 10 is pretty good. And as far as the characters of the episode go, I think you either got to give it to four people. Males and females, you either give it to Frank or Kev, and then V and Fiona. I put Frank first and I put V first. Maybe that should be opposite. I don't know. But consider all them pretty much characters of the episode. So if you've heard what I have to say, now it's your turn. If you're a fan of Shameless and want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm, please make sure that you Hulk smash that like button, share this with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Shameless. What would you rate the episode, and whom, if you had to choose, would be your male and female character of the episode? Remember to watch my Shameless series finale rant video right here if you've seen every single episode of Shameless. And then last but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. Subscribe to the channel, join the team, show your damn support, and be a part of something special. And JDev will return.